Bam! First impressions, things you need to know before you even take it up in the air. Are you ready? The long-awaited first impressions video. I have it. I've flown it day and night, and there's so much notes that I'm taking right now. It's unbelievable, guys. There's so much stuff that I need to share with you. First, let's talk look and feel. This thing looks great. I wish I could have gotten the red, but they were all sold out, and if I wanted the red, I needed to wait 1 week. Look, color is great, but as you know, this won't be mine for long. It will probably be yours. They actually had my favorite color. If you listen to my previous video where I actually picked this bad boy up, you would hear me say that black is my favorite color. The reason I didn't get black is because I do not want to get attached to this thing, and I do not want to end up keeping it. I want to give it away to you or someone else on this channel. Now let's jump right into the construction. The white part has a really nice feel, really nice. It's plasticky. The whole thing just has this look and feel of plastic, except this part right here. Everything else just has like a plasticky, regular looking, like the Walkero Vitus. I had that drone that was very plasticky. That took off to Mars or somewhere else. That it kind of has a feel like that, but not quite. It's just borderlining toy. And is this a toy or isn't it a toy? That's what you're thinking if you hold it. Definitely if you hold it without the battery, it totally feels like a toy. With the battery in, then you're kind of questioning yourself. However, I can assure you this is nothing like a toy. Let's start with the gimbal cover. You must have seen Casey Neistat's video. He tossed the gimbal cover away. Honestly, I thought I was going to do the same thing, but no. I think it slides on really simple. The front, you just slide it on. You just need to take a little bit of time to know exactly how to put it on. Make sure you line it up over here, slide the front on. Once this front slides on, you just take the bottom here and you press it, and it clips. It's not hard at all. You just have to finagle a little bit of time with it. Once you play with it a little bit, you'll get the use and the feel of it. It's really nice because it's a one piece, and a one piece is something you really would want in a portable drone. Slip it off, slip it off in one piece, put it in your pocket, and when you finish flying, you just slide it over in one piece. See how easy it slides over there? And then just lock it in place. It does feel plasticky. I do think it can take a few drops. I know I did drop it once or twice, but oh my gosh, I just love this cover. I also like the fact, let me mention, that they use braided lines. A lot of these portable drones, they don't cover the cables that are running between the arms and the body. This one here is covered. That is another thing that I really like. The battery does feel kind of plasticky and a little bit gimmicky too, and I do believe, this is just my opinion, I'm not an expert, I don't know, I don't build these batteries. I just feel like there is room to put more power in these things. Like, I feel DJI can make one with a little bit more milliamperes that will give you a little bit more squeeze out of this. This is 2,375. I feel they can go somewhere around 2,700 and still keep this size. I hope they release something like this in the future. You just slip it right in and give it a nice squeeze on both sides. That's it. Beautifully. It fits beautifully. To take it out, you just slide it down and it comes right out. I love how the battery fits. Would I prefer it on the top? Absolutely, I would prefer it on top. But that would kind of take away from the sleek. I mean, look at this thing. Look at the looks of this beauty. This thing is sleek. It is sweet to look at. Now, the SD card goes in the back here. You kind of have to finagle a little bit. My nails are short, so it's a little hard for it. Now, here's the thing. The SD card, the first time I had the SD card in there, it did not record anything. So what I did, the second time I flew, I formatted the SD card, and while it was in here, I formatted the SD card, and it actually recorded to the SD card. But it didn't record to the SD card until it actually filled the internal 8 gigabytes of storage, and then it started filling the SD card. I'm definitely going to look in the settings and see, there must be a way in the settings to set it to fill the SD card first instead of filling the internal memory. The only way of accessing the internal memory is with the cable, the USB-C cable here, which DJI does provide, that you can plug in here and plug into your PC. The only problem with that is your drone has to be on, means your battery has to be connected and on. So that's kind of a problem for me. Not a problem, but an inconvenience, because most of the time, in particular this drone, because it doesn't have the longest of battery life, when I'm done flying, like I did the last few times, and I come home, my batteries are almost on red. And even though I want to leave the battery charging, I'd like to have access to the footage so I can start editing. That's a problem, because I can't access the footage that's on the 8 gigabyte unless I plug the cable in here and the battery is connected to the drone and turned on. So that's the problem. So I find myself boosting up the battery to like 30–40%, then plugging it in, then plugging in the USB-C cable, and then plugging into the computer, turning this on, having the computer identified, and then pulling the footage off the internal drive. I tried it without the battery connected, and it simply does not work, because I don't want to be dependent on this battery just to access my footage inside of here. So these are the little things, guys, that I don't think a lot of YouTubers are telling you, and that you should know whether you purchase this drone or not. Still a great drone, but you have to know the ins and outs. Every drone has its ins and outs, its pros and cons. Everything, as long as it's man-made, there are pros, there are cons, there are advantages and disadvantages. Don't hate, guys. I've been getting a lot of thumbs down, a lot of negativity. I'm just sharing it real as I experience it, so you will know what to expect when the time comes. I'm not bashing the drone. Get ready, because these things blow. They blow a lot of hot air out of these little vents right here. And honestly, I prefer these compared to the DJI Mavics, which vents are on the bottom because the battery is on the top. Now, the battery being on the top is an advantage, because while the drone is sitting on the ground, you can come and press and turn it on. This one you actually have to come and pick it up, which can be a little annoying if you have your remote controller in your hand, because that means you might have to put your controller down to pick the drone up, to turn it on and put it down. If you turn this drone on and you leave it on for a few minutes, it actually starts blowing out of these little cool ventilators. These things just don't look cool. They actually serve a purpose, and they blow a lot of hot, smelly electronic fumes out of it, at least the first time I turned it on and used it. Don't worry about the noise. It's absolutely normal. If the fan running and the heat blowing out of here, it's better up here than at the bottom here. Next thing I want to talk to you about is the controller. Now, these little things right here, I thought that after my first few flights, probably my first, second, or third flight, that these things would actually fall out. So far, these little pins are holding up. They're holding up pretty darn good, and they're very easy to take out and screw on. Now, initially I thought, oh, this is going to be a problem, because it's going to be hard to screw it in there. But if you look at the way it's built in here and the way this is built, it's like a cup. This actually couples over and fits nicely in this slot. So to cross thread it, it's not easy. And trust me, I've cross-threaded a lot of things. You do have to be gentle with it, a little finesse, but it fits right on very smoothly. This idea is not only practical, but it really does work. I can assure you that. I love it. There's one thing here that really bothers me. There's no wheel. This is like the Spark remote, totally. The wheel for the gimbal, yeah, but where is the exposure wheel? These little buttons here, lights at the top here, these little lights right at the top here that light up when the controller goes on to tell you exactly how much battery life you have, is really awesome. I've flown 2 batteries and I lost 1 out of 4 lights. So that's pretty good, probably because the battery does not have to power an additional screen, that it probably will last longer than your Mavic Pro's battery if you own one. If you don't own one, don't worry, you have good battery life from what I see so far on this controller. The reason why I bought the drone with one battery is because I feel like carrying around 3 or 4 batteries could take me from having a pocket-sized drone into having a pouch-sized drone, which will take me straight back to the DJI Mavic Pro, which fits well in here with 2 batteries. And if I'm using 4 batteries with this, and I'll have to end up putting it all in a pouch like this, I'm back to the Mavic Pro. Then why do I really need this? And of course, the infamous new firmware available. Just to follow up with you, the drone is finishing. It's actually finished updating. I started it at 4:30. It finished at 4:36, so that took about 6 minutes. At 4:38, it asked me to restart the drone. Whilst I was restarting the drone, it asked me to update the controller. The controller, I didn't need the drone on. I updated the controller just by itself, connected to the app, and that took about 2 minutes max. So that was pretty fast. If I were to use a word to describe the sound that comes from this drone when it is on, is piercing. And another word I would use is annoying. Just the pitch at which it's very difficult for me to describe. I did notice that after I've almost, I didn't even hover out the whole battery. I went to go and take the prop guards off, and man, these motors were on fire. I don't know if that's just because it has the extra weight of the prop guards that's putting a little extra pressure on the motors. So this just goes together like this, and I guess these go on just like that. Okay, I'm guessing like this. Oh, not bad. Oh, not bad at all. Oh, wow. That's simple? Wow, that was pretty simple. I don't know if it's just because it's the first time I fired it up. I did not notice that afterwards. However, all the other flights that I had afterwards were outdoors. I'm going to fly this indoor again and give you another update. I really don't think that's anything too major to be worried about. Just thought I'd mention it so that you don't, or you at least you be careful when you put your hands close to these, even with just half of battery use, right? The other thing is, when I was flying, I definitely feel that I have enough battery life to get me the shot that I need, or at least 2 shots that I'm really looking for, and come back and land safely. I would say when it comes to indoor flying, this is absolutely the best drone I have ever flown indoors with a 4K camera and a 3-axis gimbal. Now, I've heard people mention that once the software updates and the firmware starts kicking in, that these drones lose their stability. I cannot account for that. All I can tell you is right now, today, that's my opinion. Guys, I am working day and night to dissect this thing, to follow it, to record it, to download the footage, to edit the footage, to give my reviews on this drone, and I am primarily focused on this right now. So if I'm not going to release the details of the giveaway in this video, definitely I'm still giving this away probably to you. I just don't have all the details yet because I want to finish my reviews first. As we come further and closer to the end of the review, not only will you be more knowledgeable about this drone and know exactly what to expect about this drone, if you do win this drone, you will definitely feel like you know this drone by the time you have watched all my reviews. So guys, keep it locked right here. I'll talk more about the giveaway of this drone possibly to you later. Just remember, for now, hit that like button, thumbs up, Share this video, guys. If you can share this video on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever social platform that you use, that means a lot to me, because as my subscriber count goes up, do not think that this is the only drone that will give away, but many other drones and tech equipment also, like these stuff, all of my gear. I'm going to be giving away stuff like cameras, tripods, gimbals, you name it. It's not only drones, because a drone alone is not going to do it. You're going to need the gear so you can share your adventure with the world. So we'll come back to that later, guys. Just hang 10, be a little patient, and make sure you share as much as you can and hit that bell so that when I release new videos, you will know. The earlier you know, the better chance you stand of winning this bad boy right here and many more items that I will be giving away here on this channel. Guys, more stuff to come, rest assured. Flight test videos, range videos. The range test that I did in the field today was 22 miles an hour. I'm not going to give everything away. It was cold, about 38 degrees. I took this bad boy up there to do a range test, and I had the Mavic Pro following it and recording it while it was going through its range test. So I've got tons more stuff to share with you guys. Keep it locked right here and hit that bell so when these new videos come out, you can be the first to see and probably the first to win. Last but not least, guys, go to my Facebook page, droneXfactor. Go to my Instagram page, droneXfactor. I do stories there when I'm in the field. I share little snippets of what I'm doing when I'm out in the field.
Ben is back.
Guys, this is your boy droneXfactor. Thanks for watching. I've got to be going to sleep.